Where the hell time at? Time come out to play. Time come out to play. Hell time at. Let's go.
Slapper. If I could grow dreads, I grow dreads for this one. Shout out to Legend E40. Hey, I'm in the bay with it. Yeah. This right here is a slapper. Yeah. Come on. This right here is a slapper. Yeah. Come on. This right here is a slapper. Yeah. This right here is a slapper. Yeah, this beat is my bitch, I'm a pimp. Slapper. I'm in the club tryna fuck something after. Real trap nigga sell a perk to a pastor. When I'm done with this hoe, you can have her. I'ma find something better. Yeah. And if the pussy good, nigga, I'ma tag her. Ain't a nigga in this game that wanna battle. I'm a king on the throne in my castle. She get freaky when I'm out in the capsule. Beat banging like 96. But I never snitch like a 6'9". Nope. Pull up in a 6'4". Going up the motherfucking west side. Crips riding with me like it's 92. New J's on Carolina blue. Getting to the bag like I'm Uncle Scrooge. Yeah, I've been through a lot and got a lot to prove. This right here is a slapper. 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 This right here is a slapper.
Bustin' the dough like Urkel, nigga smoking purple. Pull off in my whip, screech, huh, Lisa Turtle. Tell her body and banging her, man, she wear a girdle. Put the condom on my dick because the bitch is fertile. Beat slapping like he 40 on it. Got my little Brody on it. All the smoke, you know we want it. LA shit, West Coast, we stay lit. Volume 10, nigga, stay with the pistol grip. 2 chains on my neck, no titty boy. Like a beat out the ring, huh, like my name was Roy Jones. Take that, huh, Sean Combs. And if she ain't fucking, she could catch a Uber home. No dreads, but go dumb with the ball head. Boys got a high success rate like the feds. Throwing the towel, y'all little dogs, bow wow. And I'm a big dog, get you up and fuck the chow.
This right here is a slapper. 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 This right here is a slapper.
I ain't on my shit, I ain't feeling myself. Yeah, I keep a bad bitch on my whole top shelf. Like my nigga said, this right here is a slapper. Look for it in your baby mama favorite rapper. Recipe smack drop, go stupid, go dumb. I don't give a bitch nothing but hard dick and bubble gum. From the Bay to LA, all my niggas getting rich. Do the hawk on the horn, just sauce on my bitch. I made it one time. Swing a Benz like a Hyundai, rolling up tree like bonsai. Nigga, what's beef to a small fry? I get on that bitch heels like fungi. Kick me at the side,
right now.
Gas ain't gon' eat paper plates on the cot on the tip of tycoon. All my nigga do is sumo. Niggas mad cause they bitch wanna kick it like judo. Coach.
This right here is a slapper. 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 This right here is a slapper.
This right here is a slapper. Somebody need to slap that nigga Al Green. Somebody need to slap him. Let me call the homie right quick. Let me call the homie by popular demand right quick. Let me call. This here is a slapper. Right, I got to call by popular demand. We're gonna see what's up right quick before we get into the show. Hey, by popular demand, right? The show you on live right now. The show said that you gotta bring me out to Slapper or something so we can do like a live video to it or something. Yeah, they said you gotta bring me out to Slapper so we can do like a live video or something. All right, you know what I'm saying? They want to do a live video. They want to see Slapper perform live. All right, and he said he got y'all. He got y'all. He got y'all. He said that's the intro. So he said got y'all. All right, for sure. Good looking out. All right, we're gonna get that live for y'all. Slapper. I'm gonna be performing live. It's gonna be on my show Saturday. If you in LA, come on through. I got free tickets and everything. Right? We got everything. Look, but we're gonna get into these Democratic Party done lost their damn mind. They done lost their damn rabbit ass. They done lost their look at Bill Clinton. Look at Bill Clinton. Right? First of all, if anybody got crackheads, if you black, you got a crackhead in your family. I don't know if you white. Y'all call them substance abusers. And I don't know if crackheads and substance abusers do the same thing, right? But crackheads do stuff that the Democrats do. Like I said, the Democrats do all kind of shit yesterday, but Democrats do all kind of shit. They were like a hurt girlfriend yesterday. They was all in their emotion. But the Democrats are like a crackhead, right? Now, if you ever had a crackhead in your family, a crackhead will steal your shit, then help you look for it, right? They be searching under the couches and shit. They be asking you questions. Where the last place you been? Huh? Where you think you put it? When the last time you seen it? It be in their damn pocket. It be your wedding ring, your wallet, your $10. They help you look for it. Just like the Democrats. They will steal your shit. Then say they help you looking for it. Right? No, we looking for the money. No, you the motherfuckers been stealing the money. Why they need to investigate the money? No, they need to investigate your ass because you are the crackheads that's stealing the shit. Crackheads always lying, coming up with an excuse. All right? It ain't never their fault. I don't know about substance abusers, but I deal with crackheads. And every time I deal with a Democrat, it's like dealing with a crackhead. They always in denial. I'm not on dope. I'm not an addict. Just like a Democrat, they in denial. They see people don't like the transgender shit. You can have 99%, 99.9% to 1.01.5%, and the Democrats still gonna fight the fight. Like, don't you see the polls is 99? I just want to see the 24, the 22% of whoever vote that men should be in women's sport. Like, what is your logical thinking? Like, did you just do that shit for a joke? Just to go against the grain? Like, I'm just gonna do this shit for fun. Because there's no logical reason you can want a man in a woman's sports. Huh? There's no way you can go against energy independence. Huh? You going against Donald Trump and the world scared of Donald Trump. They making deals, releasing hostages. Motherfuckers trying to end wars. You ain't really hear shit about Israel no more. You hear that shit all the time 2 weeks ago. You hear nothing about Israel, nothing about Ukraine. The only thing you hear about is Democrats going after Donald Trump for everything he do. He can't bring a little boy out. He can't bring a cancer patient out. He can't bring a grieving mom out. All that shit got to be a prop. Democrats are in denial. You can tell a Democrat, look, man, it was not about Donald Trump. It was about the boy. So you're trying to tell me this night was not about Donald Trump? No. It was about the country. Well, Donald Trump is dividing the country. They always in denial. It's always a whataboutism with Donald Trump. What about this? What about that? And they tried to push the shit. You can like the federal, the federal agents. They always try to talk about veterans. Well, it was lots of veterans that was in the damn army during the COVID. They were trying to become veterans. Huh? What about the present people that you fired because they wouldn't take a shot? Wasn't nobody crying for them. Nobody wasn't talking about them veterans. Huh? What about all the veterans that's homeless? Right? You talking about veterans that's federal officers. What about the veterans that's sleeping on the ground? You ain't out protesting for them veterans that's sleeping on the ground, that's homeless, that's addicted to drugs. You don't give a fuck about them. You ain't put up a fight for them. But all of a sudden you want to put up a fight for a federal worker because the federal worker is being fired by Donald Trump. Well, what about when Bill Clinton tried to to minimize the government. Remember that shit?
Out of 33 in the percentage of income we take in taxes. And we have been 25th out of 33 in the percentage of government spending we have. That's just because of the collapse. In other words, a heck of a lot of this money is unemployment and food stamps and Medicaid for people who lost their private health insurance.
Whoa, that sounds like some shit right now, right? But it sounds like the immigrants getting all that shit he just named, right? While we fell under, it sounds like American people, if they wouldn't have got it, we would have still had a lot of money. But it seemed like the immigrants got all these Medicare and food stamps and unemployment and all that shit. That's why we collapsed in the recession. Bill Clinton spelled the shit out. He spelled it out.
Because of the collapse. In other words, a heck of a lot of this money is unemployment and food stamps and Medicaid for people who lost their private health insurance. In 2009, in the depths of the recession, insurance profits went up again. 5 million people lost their health insurance. 3.5 million went on Medicaid.
Whoa, you hear that? Insurance went up. A lot of people lost their health insurance and went on Medicaid.
Working people. So lost their health insurance. 3.5 million went on Medicaid. Working people. So I think after normal growth is resumed, we'll have a better feeling. My hunch is that the number of people dependent on the government will go way, way down once we've got an economy that's functioning again.
Huh? The people that need assistance from the government will go way, way down once the economy get the booming again. What Donald Trump trying to do? Trying to get the economy booming again, right? And what can you do? You minimize government, you cut waste, you cut abuse, you cut fraud, you cut all that shit. And what you need to do that, you need somebody to do it that doesn't work for the government, is independent for the government, right? And just because he was a Donald Trump donor doesn't mean that he's not independent of the government. You got to get somebody like that. You can't keep on pushing the federal agent shit on the Trump supporters and expect us
Democrats
expect us to turn on Trump. You can't keep pushing this shit. Oh, he firing federal workers. We know you sons of bitches don't care about no federal workers. We know that. There's no time in history you ever cared about a damn federal worker. Now all of a sudden you want to care about them. Yeah, you want to save their jobs. You want to protect the veterans. Ha! Since when? Ha!
Democrats are emphasizing these fired federal workers, especially the veterans. Is that going to work for them, do you think?
No, it's not going to work for them because people see through it. They see the politicization of it.
The Democratic Party, your party, has a huge problem. The latest Quinnipiac University national poll finds that only 21% of the American people approve of the job that congressional Democrats are doing.
And I saw this for the first time back in the Enron days when they tried to pin the Republicans for the behavior of corporate America.
Even more striking is that 49% of Democrats disapprove of what Democrats in Congress are doing.
If you look like you're doing it for political reasons, they will reject you. If you look like you're doing it for the genuine health and safety and well-being of the American people, they will embrace you.
And that's why the Democratic Party is getting rejected, because they know they're only doing it for political reasons. They're not doing it for the good of the people, right? They don't give a fuck about the people. They're only doing it because it's a resistance against Donald Trump. They don't give a fuck about the voters. They don't give a fuck about the citizens. They don't give a fuck about America. Aha! Name a policy that's pro-America and not just pro-woman, or pro-transgender, or pro-women, or pro-kid changing sex. Name one law. Name one that they all fall behind besides transgenderism.
How is your party getting it this wrong?
These Democrats who proudly proclaim that they're the resistance.
Let me translate that for you real quick. When Trump says he'll tell it like it is, what he really means is that he's going to tell you what his own warped version of what he wants you to believe.
They're not helping their party. In fact, they're helping their party fail. They're causing the party to focus on the wrong issues, in the wrong language, in the wrong way.
It's just all today.
Right? So they got these people out here protesting Tesla and the White House and transgender rights and stuff like that. Like he said, they out here tagging themselves to the wrong topics. They still want to push the transgender shit, right? 1% of the population, right, with 60 to 70% depends on what poll you watch, sometimes 80% of the country. It's like, no, we don't want that. But you still got the protesters running around preaching that. We don't give a damn. That's not majority of the people. They can have their little small ass protests. But NBC and ABC and all these motherfuckers trying to pump it up like it's a real protest. We know it's George Soros funded.
Causing the party to focus on the wrong issues in the wrong language in the wrong way.
This was all today. This was over the weekend in D.C., a big crowd turning out for a transgender unity rally. They started in front of the U.S. Capitol. They marched to the White House.
Well, let me just say this. I will push back on what you just said for this reason.
It was also another weekend of protests at Tesla dealerships all over the country, protesting what the president has assigned his top campaign donor to do to the federal government.
The fact of the matter is there is broad dissatisfaction and unhappiness and distress, and I understand all of it.
There were big protests at Tesla dealerships in Tucson, Arizona, and in Boston, Massachusetts, and in Springfield, New Jersey, and in Superior, Colorado. Also at the Tesla dealership in New York City on the west side of Manhattan, there was a really big protest there. There were actually 9 people arrested at that protest.
I know the new senator from Michigan, Lisa Slotkin. She's not one of those Democrats. And so I'm going to be listening to her language, her messaging at the end of
this. My sound, hold on, my sound? Wait a minute, is it a mute sound? I must have been muted. Wait a minute, is this muted? Is this damn video muted? Hold on. Wait, no, it's not. Is the video not playing? Oh, no, I was muted. Oh, better. I told you this computer is tripping. I didn't know this computer is tripping. I'm going to have to fix this computer. I hope it don't go out. Right? This is a good-ass video. Let's go. I'm throwing the shop next week. If it trip again, if it go out again, let me know. I'm throwing the shop next week.
The State of the Union, because that will tell me whether Democrats really not just understand, but can take advantage of this opportunity that the Trump administration has left them.
And I agree that all of us have more work to do, but be clear, the people who are in control right now are the Republicans.
There was also a big protest targeting another company owned by the president's top campaign donor. This was SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California.
I wish I would have knew that shit. I went down there with all my MAGA gear. That's like 10 minutes away from my house right there. I wish I would have knew that shit was happening right there. I would have got all the MAGA niggas from LA. We went up there with our MAGA shit on and shit. I would have got some Hispanic dudes and stuff like that. You know, they lucky. And you know, Blackstream Waters was at this son of a bitch. You know she had to show her ugly ass face. But they lucky I wasn't around. Huh? They are lucky I wasn't around, because I would have went up there with some MAGA shit and I would have made everybody mad. Huh? Everybody would have got black. Wait a minute, I'm self-censored again? I'm cut off again? I can't be cut off again. Wait a minute, can you hear me? What can't work without feeling sorry for him. I like this work. I hope I'm not censored again. Don't censor me. This shit is crazy. Hold on. Am I? Because I can't even hear myself. Am I on? Oh, okay. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. But yeah, I wish I would have knew. This is 10 minutes away from my house, right? This is right down the street. This is like this is not high-end area, but this is still the ghetto in Hawthorne, right? And all them white people is not supposed to be out there like that, right? But this still is like liberal land and shit like that because it's next to Torrance and stuff like that. But really, this is right down the street from my house, right? This is where they build the spaceships and all that shit, right? And there's a lot of blacks and Hispanics got jobs there and stuff like that because the building is across the street. So what they're protesting is the shutdown of a lot of black and Hispanics working at this building right here because this is a community-based building right here, right? It's not too many white people working in this building. It's some, but when you see people coming out, it's Mexicans, blacks, Hispanics, all that. Right, so if you protesting this building to be shut down, you are protesting the shutdown of black, brown, and everybody else, gays, and everybody else in that community, huh? These are some of the smartest people in the community. You want to get that shit shut down? Shame on you.
This weekend, right near the LAX airport in Southern California, lots of people turned out there. This guy came dressed as Elon Vader. Donald, I am your daddy. Congresswoman Maxine Waters turned up at that protest as well. The SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne is in her district.
I want to emphasize, his agenda is supported by a majority of the public. It's only in how it's being executed that the American people are beginning to say, enough of it.
They have control of the Senate, they have control of the House, and they have the White House.
This was Dublin, California this weekend, right near where I grew up in the East Bay. Members of the community there protesting against the use of a closed correctional facility as a detention center for ICE. There's also a big march in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania this weekend, protesting the massive indiscriminate cuts to the federal workforce. There was another protest for federal workers in San Francisco this weekend.
Well, Chris, among those who voted for him in November, there's still that broad support, even for the...
Who gives a fuck, right? People are still supporting Donald Trump, right? Trump supporters is not leaving Donald Trump. You can try to spin that shit. You can try to say the federal workers and veterans and all that shit. If you're a true veteran and you're a true federal worker, and you know shit has to get done, right? Especially if your ass just got that job. Ha! You just got the job a year and all of a sudden you talk about, well, my livelihood and my life and all this old stuff and all fire. But how long you on the job? 6 months, 3 months. I'd even pass my probation. How long is probation? A year. So the first to come is the first to go. I mean, the last to come is the first to go. You didn't know that? You want him to cut some of the veterans up there? You can't do that. You can't cut the vets. They've been working up there for years. The last to come is the first to go. Your ass been working 6 months. You ain't passed the probation period. We not fit to eliminate the people been working here for years first. Gonna start with cutting your ass. The people ain't passed probation period. You go.
Those who backed him reluctantly back in 2024. That's not to say that there's no concerns or that there's not things that they're watching with some level of caution, but the overwhelming sentiment that you get is that, hey, it's 6 weeks into his presidency. Give it some time to play out, even if there may be some skepticism with the initial action. I want you to listen to some of those conversations that I've been having here in Battleground, Wisconsin, but this conservative, slightly more conservative area of the state.
And so the people who are really enacting this pain on the American people are not the Democrats.
Feeling very good.
It's not the Democrats, right? It's acting the pain. What pain? Who feeling pain? The pain of the price of eggs? What pain is we feeling? I ain't felt no pain. These people cashing income tax checks. They ain't feeling no pain. The only motherfucker feeling the pain is the federal workers and the motherfucker that was stealing from the government.
Good. You know, he's doing what he said he was going to do, and change is happening very quickly.
You know, we have a job to do, but I think it is really important that right now the people who should be held to account are also my colleagues in the Republican Party who have been complicit with this.
It's not my fault. It's not our fault. They caused the pay. They should be held responsible. They complicit.
It's hard to pinpoint if I'm fully happy with everything that's going on, because I think it's going to take some time to see what actually goes through and what actually is. Some of it seemed like a lot more posturing than actual getting things done.
The ones who know better, see better, and I think it's really important for them to continue to speak up. There are so many opportunities for that to happen.
I feel great and cautious, okay? I think he's doing a great job delivering what he said. We're moving at light speed. But there are some things that I'm also concerned about, too. I'm concerned about the tariffs that just kicked in today and how that's going to affect me.
Grocery.
Oh, I'm affected by the tariffs, right? You got to give this shit time, right? Don't let these Democrats scare you into believing that income tax and Medicare and medical and all this shit finna get cut off, and Social Security and all that. Don't listen to these Democrats. They want you to believe the worst shit ever, right? If they didn't have nothing bad to say about Donald Trump, they couldn't say nothing at all. They got to say the worst about Donald Trump. But this dude right here get up and like, bitch, I know you a Democrat. I know what's going on.
These egg prices haven't gone down since Trump took office.
Egg prices ain't been down since Trump got. They really expected Trump to solve the egg problem on the first day. And that's all they got to talk about. Egg prices on the. You mean it's all kind of shit going on in the world, and all you motherfuckers worried about is eggs. Not a war, not taxes, not all this transgender shit, not the border, not security, right? Not none of that. The only thing you worried about Donald Trump doing is lowering the price of eggs. Then if you lower the price of eggs, then you're gonna complain about something else. Right? You gotta fix this thing. Like every argument that the Democrats make, they always start with Donald Trump said he was gonna lower the price of eggs on day one. Who in the fuck believes that? It's a process with anything. Well, Donald Trump said the eggs were he was gonna lower groceries on day one. Right? And they say that. No, ain't no Trump supporter went to the polls and voted for no motherfucking eggs to go down 45 cents. I'm gonna vote for Trump, right? Because he said eggs is gonna go down $3 a carton. I'm gonna get my French toast, right? And my Grand Slam a little cheaper, so I'm finna vote for Donald Trump. And then when they voted him in, and then the eggs ain't went down, the same voter, the only reason he went up in there was for the lower price of eggs. Now he's mad at Donald Trump because the eggs is not cheaper. If that was to happen, right, and someone went there for the sole purpose of Donald Trump lowering the price of eggs, he should be mad. And I'm not mad at him. He should, if that was his main motherfucking purpose of going to the polls or mailing in that letter for Donald Trump's purpose to lower the price of eggs, damn it, he should be furious. He should be more than mad. Donald Trump promised me he was gonna lower the price. I was doing all that shit. I donated all that money. I done all that rallying and campaigning and all that shit for Donald Trump, and the eggs still high. He lied to me. I ain't heard one motherfucker who voted for Donald Trump ever say that.
Groceries, egg prices haven't gone down since Trump took office.
Give him a little bit of time. Will you come back in a year or 2 years? Let's look at the halfway point, because we all know everything takes time.
Well, he promised it on the first day.
He promises to
and
take
anybody
steps.
that believed that's crazy.
He also said that it would probably be a little more painful to start with, but it would get better. We got to give
Everybody's waiting on that.
But the Democratic Party is not what's causing the pain that we're seeing. It is the leader of the Republican Party who is right now, who is unfit, who is callous, and who has done nothing to support the average American family.
The average American family. What the fuck is the average American family? He has done nothing. Nothing. All the shit he landed, all the shit he said at the. So you mean getting women? I mean men out of women's sports? That's not nothing for the average family. Protecting the border from immigrants and criminals and drugs. That's not doing nothing for the average family. right? Trying to lower taxes. That's not doing nothing for the average family, right? What is he not doing for the average family? What is he supposed to be doing better? He's not doing nothing for the average family. They can just say that shit, spit that shit, and have nothing to back it up, and expect people to believe it. That's why they losing. You don't have it. The people that saying tired of you just saying shit and don't have evidence to back it up. Oh, he's guilty. He's a rapist. He's a racist. He's guilty. He's a rapist. He's selfish. He's this. He's that.
You talking about contractors? Elon's a contractor too. Who looks into him?
There needs to be somebody.
Nobody questions his bills.
Do you trust Elon Musk?
That motherfucker said nobody questioned Elon Musk bills. Did you question his bill before he was supporting Donald Trump when he was running Tesla and SpaceX? Huh? Did anybody question his money then? Only when he become Donald Trump's friend, we need to question and go into his bank account. And can we really trust him now? We trust his cars for years. We trust him sending people to the moon and rescuing people from the moon. We trust him doing that. We trust him giving satellites to people in wars, right? And to people that got hit with natural disaster and train leaks and shit like that. We can trust him to do that. But we can't trust him, the richest man in the world, with our taxes, because we scared he might get rich off of them. He might do something with them. Well, he got a lot of motherfuckers' information when you went and signed that Tesla contract. He got your social security number. You got to put your social security number when you go buy a Tesla. You didn't know that? Every motherfucker got a Tesla gave Elon Musk their social security number. Every last one of you.
There needs to be somebody.
Nobody questions his bills.
Do you trust Elon Musk?
Absolutely.
He's a government contractor. He's got business interests, whether in defense, internet, that kind of thing. He's also admitted to drug use. He smoked pot on Joe Rogan's show. Do you trust him as like a stable, rational, and reasonable person?
Watch this dude go off like, bitch, you done said he a drug addict, he unstable, you call him a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, you're not an average reporter. You know what? This shit is over.
Person to be doing this job.
Yes.
Hey, he's a Republican. You ain't gonna talk him out of that.
I'm not suggesting Democrats are responsible. I'm just saying you have historically low approval rating.
There's potheads all over this country. Y'all sitting here trying to bash one man for what, 99% of this country, Republican or Democrat. Corbett, this whole dadgum town smokes pot. You're part of the Democrat Party in my book.
The conversation devolved quickly. We had not anticipated the emotional connection we already felt with Musk.
This
He
is
did
over
it on
with.
TV.
He sat on TV and smoked pot.
Yes, do you
Well,
want
I
me to
haven't. I
pull up
don't
the
care.
video?
I'm saying it don't matter.
Let me pull up the
But that
video
makes him
for you.
unqualified to do a job.
Well, I'm just saying, does it?
Yeah, I mean,
Does the
she's
question
coming in
is-
here with ignorant arguments. She
Does
ain't
it-
talking
Does
facts.
it raise any questions
You
about his
I can prove you a Democrat by the level of ignorance that you portray.
Let's
You
just
listen to that.
I can tell you a Democrat by the level of ignorance you portray. You come up here with these facts, bitch. This interview is over. Take this shit. I'm out of here. I can tell you I
can prove you a Democrat by the level of ignorance that you portray.
Let's
We
just
listen to
show
that
it.
all the time. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, please drain the swamp. While you there, get the job done. Please.
They'll probably go down the drain with it.
Republicans. They'll probably go down the drain with them, right? But you got these Democrats mad over this Al Green shit, right? They mad over Al Green. Al Green got silenced, right? They told Al Green he got to shut the fuck up, right? Hey, Al, you're doing too much. You're in raising up. Didn't nobody do that shit with Biden, interrupt with no damn cane and all this old shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers say, hey, repeat the name, but say the name. But they wasn't doing all that crazy ass shit you was doing, right? Have to get the arms and the sergeant of arms to kick your ass out like you was a protester, right? But these Democrats like, why are you trying to silence Al? What's wrong with Al? Why Al didn't do nothing wrong? The Democrats never do anything wrong. Them motherfuckers pull fire alarms. You know what I'm saying? Talk about these people, right? They can have sex in the damn Capitol building, still closed. Democrats show titties on the White House line, right? They can do all kind of shit, but they the victims. Motherfucker, transgender showed titties on the White House line. Motherfucker say, why you disrespect the White House like that? She turned into the victim, and he turned into the victim. It turned into the victim. Oh, I'm getting a lot of hate mail and shit like that. All the liberals, as soon as they do some fucked up shit and people ask them, hey, why you do that? That was disrespectful. Oh, now I'm the victim. People are harassing me and giving me hate mail and stuff. Why you show your man breast on the White House line then, fool? You're not a victim. You knew exactly what you was doing. Right? Dylan Mulvaney running around talking about a period and all this stuff, giving women maxi pads and all this other shit. He knew what he was doing. Now all of a sudden he's a victim. I was just giving women maxi pads. I wanted them to feel comfortable and all this other shit. He knew what he was doing. They do shit and they the victim. They mutilate kids, but they the victim. Oh, I'm the victim. The baby wasn't the victim. My health was that concern. I was stressed out, so I had to kill the baby. I'm the victim. It's my woman rights. I'm the woman. I'm the victim. The transgender, why they can't play in the sports? The transgenders are the victim. Huh? Why my kids can't be a boy and call this pronoun? He's the victim. Why these immigrants can't cross over the border and come from other countries? They're the victims. Everybody a victim except the victims. Ha!
Jump into action after someone has the guts to stand up and call BS.
You guys, it just keeps getting worse. I keep thinking that it can't get worse, and then it gets worse. You know how we're already talking about how embarrassing it was that the Democrats were so useless last night at the State of the Union with their little, we're going to be the pink ladies from Greece. Look at our little ping pong paddles. This is the resistance, folks.
David, just one other thing he said towards the end. He said, talking about Butler, and he talked about Mark Fogel and his mother being there, and how she'd come up at the rally, and that's why he had spent this time to free her son from prison. And then he said, I was saved by God, talking about being shot in Butler, to make America great again. I believe that. Now, the New York Times says at that moment, Nancy Pelosi leans over to Steny Hoyer and goes, oh, my God. What is a moment like that?
I'm sure.
A moment like say Nancy Pelosi is an evil bitch. Right? The same person say, I pray for Donald Trump. I pray for, you know what I'm saying? Nancy Pelosi says she prayed for Donald Trump. But as soon as a miracle happened in Donald Trump's favor, something she supposedly prayed for, she said, oh, my God. So you mean to tell me Donald Trump even used God as a prop last night? I mean, you said he used the boy. You said he used the mother. You said he used the victims. You said he used the hero. Right? But now you trying to say he used the Lord? Like, oh, God, he's talking about the Lord saving him. Did you hear that shit? Like, Nancy, you the same bitch didn't clap for the kid. Now you can't even, like give the Lord his props? Give God his grace? You mean to tell me you so evil you can't even clap for God, the Almighty? These motherfuckers is evil. You can't be that evil. You can't, motherfuckers say, God bless America, and you sit on your hand. God bless the Democrats, and you don't. God bless that little kid, and you don't say shit. God bless the mother, and you sit on your hands. How evil can you be? This little girl is in heaven right now, and you can't even be down here on earth and say, you know what? You lived a good life. It was tragic how you went out, right? It shouldn't have happened, right? But we're going to give you the respect a human being that been through that deserve, and we just going to clap. Them motherfuckers can't even do that, right? Now, you can't blame your hatred. Like, now, think about this. The Democrats is the only people can hate everything and blame that everything if it's related to Donald Trump. They can hate on kids. They can hate on the police, right? They can hate on soldiers. They can hate on, like, the rich. They can hate white people, black people. You have the right to hate on anybody. If you black, you can hate on blacks. You can hate on whites. It's not racism if it's a white, if it's a black liberal cussing a white Trump supporter out. It's not racist, right? I guess he's getting what he deserves. But let it go the other way around. Let a black Trump supporter say something to a white liberal. That will be racist. The same shit. Let them say the same exact shit the liberal will be able to say to the conservative man. Let the conservative black man say the same shit to a liberal white man and see what the fuck happens. Huh? They want you to think that, oh my God, you mean God is a prop now? He shouldn't have used God in the speech. Now Donald Trump can't. I mean, if the Democrats are so damn evil, I'm pretty sure if they died and go to heaven and Donald Trump was up there, they would reject that too. I'm not going up in there with him. Send me somewhere else. I'm not going up in there with Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't even go to heaven if they knew Donald Trump was up there. They'd rather go to hell just to prove a point. Just to show how much they hate Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was running against Hitler right now, right? They would find an excuse to vote for Hitler. They'll try to start investigating the Jews and see what they done and turn the Jews into bad people and make it seem like Hitler wasn't such a bad guy. But Donald Trump, that's who we can't have as president. Hitler, he ain't all that bad. But Donald Trump is the worst human being ever in the history of human beings. My vote goes towards Hitler.
Sure, that's an emotional moment that connected with a lot of people. I just want to, 160 years ago tonight, Abraham Lincoln gave his second inaugural address. He said, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. What a different spirit that was. And that was after a civil war. So it's one thing to mine our differences. It's another thing to try and heal our differences. And that is, that's the difference between real leadership and political expedience.
Less than 24 hours later, and here they are on the floor with an emergency censure to soothe Donald Trump's fragile ego.
Right? Why is that 80% of the people say Al Green done some messed up stuff? They didn't agree with it. 80% of the people. So how is this pleasing Donald Trump ego? Everything got to be pleasing Donald Trump. They want to close the borders to please Donald Trump. They want men out of the sports to please Donald Trump. Right? They want to lower taxes to please Donald Trump. Right? Everything they do is to please Donald Trump. Not their voters, not the people who voted them in, but everything they do is to please Donald Trump.
And while they did nothing to protest, Al Green, Representative Al Green from Texas, who is the only one that did, who actually got up and said something and got kicked out of the hall.
I have never seen them leap into action so fast in my life. It was overnight.
They want to censure him. Yeah, Democrats.
Meanwhile, their own voters are getting hurt by this administration and its radio silence. They can't even be bothered to lift a finger to do a town.
Want to send?
I don't know what voters are being hurt by Donald Trump administration. What Donald Trump, our own voters, they just throw that shit out. His own voters are being hurt by his administration. How? He still got a high approval rating. How?
Censure him for protesting.
Option of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present him.
Look at these sons of business. Look at their protest, right? Remember, the Democrats is the party of singing, right? So while he's trying to get a resolution in order, the Democrats come on and sing "We Shall Overcome." This is the what is it called? A resolution, a revolution, whatever the fuck they call it, a resistance. This is the resistance. These motherfuckers come and sing "We Shall Overcome." The Democrats are fucking ridiculous. They are fucking ridiculous. How in the hell you want to sit in front of a damn Capitol town hall meeting and sing "We Shall Overcome" to try to save a black nigga, or "Kumbaya" or whatever y'all was singing, right? To save a nigga from being silenced because he done something that 80% of the country do not agree with. But you want to sit up there and saying "Kumbaya" and "We Shall Overcome." Look at this shit. This shit is ridiculous. Democrats, like they don't. I don't think they understand how they look. Chanting and singing and marching and protesting, and I don't think they know how they look to the average person with little common sense.
Himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure, and that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
It's like they don't realize that they're supposed to be the opposition to the Trump administration. Some Democrats aren't ruling out voting for Representative Dan Newhouse's resolution to censure Green for breach of property conduct.
The House had come to order. The House had come to order. What's it?
You want to let him keep doing this, or tell me clear?
I said you want to keep doing this and tell them to clear. Look, they don't know what the fuck the Democrats is up there singing "Kumbaya." Like what the fuck should we do with these sons of bitches? They're not leaving. They're not coming to order. They're not listening. Right? These are some defiant sons of bitches. This motherfucker's crazy. What should I do?
The House had come to order. Clear the well, please. Clear the well. The House has to continue its business.
Every single one of them should have been doing that. The fact that he was the only one and they didn't all get up and follow him. This is insane. This is your pathetic resistance.
Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the House will stand in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
The centrist House.
This is your pathetic opposition. This motherfucker's sitting up there singing "Kumbaya." Like, hey, recess, motherfucker. "Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya." Hey, get up out of here. "Kumbaya, my Lord." What we gonna do with these crazy nuts? The Democrats mad like this is what we got to represent us? Is these old sons of bitches? This is the opposition? Huh? The Democrats are fucked. They own people mad at them.
Democrat who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of course you did, you f***ing coward.
Well, that is a pretty dramatic development there, Wolf. We had expected the House to actually go into have another vote in the aftermath of this one. So we'll see what the Speaker ultimately tries to do with this protest that is now breaking out on the House floor of some members of the House Democratic Caucus singing "We Shall Overcome" in the aftermath of this.
So that what Green did was.
When you ever come in the aftermath of this, right? They like, hey man, we got another resolution we need to come. Them motherfuckers out there, there's some we should overcome. Overcome what? Al Green getting silenced? We should overcome. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. We shall overcome one day. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. Them motherfuckers got, do they make up the song? They got a Doge song. They done remade We Shall Overcome. Like, these motherfuckers got chants and protests. They got hymns and they got dance moves. And oh my, somebody needs to come out with the next Democrats Got Talent or some shit like that, right? Because these sons of bitches is like a untalented show or something. Singing and hymning and marching and yelling and arguing and fighting and all of them mad. Name one, look, who, I'm gonna look at it in the chat, right? Give me the Democrat right now. We finna name him right now. We're gonna take Barack Obama out of this because that's a fake ass smile, right? Give me the Democrat that smiles the most, right? What Democrat would you say that has the most genuine smile, a genuine laugh, that's not angry all the time, right? That's not accusing somebody of racism, that is not accusing somebody of being Hitler, right? Give me one, man or woman, white or black. Give me one that's happy. You see a lot of Democrats, you see a lot of Republicans happy. Look at Larry Elder happy. Candace Owens happy. Byron Donalds happy. Tim Scott happy. Right, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Laura Barber, they be happy. They be arguing too, but they be happy. They don't be running around angry 24/7. They have the ability to smile. When the last time you saw a Democrat smile unless they was asking for some money or a vote? It sure wasn't at an interview. It sure wasn't at a press conference, right? It sure wasn't on CNN. They don't do it. They don't have the ability to. They don't have the ability to laugh. They don't have the ability to joke. They don't have the ability to be humane, right? These are the worst human beings in the world. If you don't have the capacity to do certain shit, how you not gonna have any capacity on certain levels to understand or feel certain shit as a human being?
Voting is singing "We Shall Overcome" in the aftermath of this.
So that what Green did was inappropriate. He became the story, not the price of eggs. Why don't you dumb motherfuckers understand how politics works?
But this is clearly a divided some elements of the Democratic Party, that we saw 10 Democrats voting with Republicans to ultimately approve this measure. 224 to 198 was the vote to censure Al Green, which essentially is a public admonition. It's a way to say that the House disapproves of an action of a specific member. It really doesn't go beyond that.
Like, why don't you understand that? Not the price of eggs. First of all, you guys wouldn't be able to do an effective job talking about the price of eggs if your lives depended on it, if your next lobbying check depended on it.
It used to be very rare that the House would take such an action, really only in the most egregious of offenses. But in recent years, it's becoming used much more commonly. And in the aftermath of what Al Green did on the House floor, Republicans made clear that they wanted to punish Al Green for his extended outburst and ultimate removal from the House floor during Donald Trump's address to Congress. But we'll see if the Speaker decides to do anything else to these Democrats who are now speaking out, or they're chanting, it seems, on the House floor, if they're ultimately removed, or if the Speaker decides to take any action on them as well. Guys.
Very interesting.
I'm going to take a closer look at those 10 Democrats who voted
I was just thinking that.
To censure their fellow Democrat, Al Green.
All
Because I would think Monty Raju, I think we just lost him, but I'd like to know historically, you were talking.
Oh shit, they finna dox these people. Well, I want to know the 6 people who voted against them. Right, you finna dox them and sick the Democratic Party after them? Them sons of bitches is sick, man. They are like, we're gonna find you out and we're gonna go after your ass. Them motherfuckers are sick. I remember they chased the old girl into the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Chased the other nigga on his boat. These motherfuckers are sick, man. Right? They warning people about illegal immigrants and shit. I mean, they don't give a damn about rapists and child molesters. This is the party of sick people because, right? Remember they tried to rename pedophiles to men that love little kids or some shit like that? Because pedophile shit was a little too insensitive. They wanted a different pronoun. Ha! Give them queer.
It used to be extraordinarily rare, not so much in the last recent years, but how rare is it for a member of the person being censured's own party to vote with the other side like this?
You know, that has happened sometimes in recent history, but typically these things have gone down, at least in the last couple of years, have gone down mostly along party lines. Sometimes people may break ranks, especially ones in difficult districts. One person who did vote to censure Al Green right now is Marcy Kaptur. She's a veteran Ohio Democrat, someone who's actually in a swing district. So that tells you something there. Another one, Jared Moskowitz, a more moderate member of the House Democratic Caucus. He voted to censure Al Green. Another one, Jim Himes of Connecticut, perhaps not as progressive as some of the members who are actually engaging in some of that protest that was happening here. But the larger issue here, though, is the debate within the Democratic Party over how exactly to express themselves as the opposition to Donald Trump at this key moment. In that, during the speech, the Democratic leaders did not want their members to engage on things what Al Green was doing. They did not want people to hold up signs. That was
why they got to be the opposition. The opposition of what? To making America great again? Right? That's what the opposition to? How you going to be opposition to that? Like what is the opposition to that? If Donald Trump said, I'm trying to make America great again by ending wars and cutting federal waste and giving the money back to the people and stuff like that, and what I don't understand that. What is the opposition on that? Like, if that's what he's for, why are you against it, or what are you against? What part of that are you against? Right? The executive orders he passed, and like, what part of that? The money saving part, the women saving part, the war part, the terror part. I mean, what part do you not like? Are you opposed to? Are you rebelling against? Please tell us so we'll know.
The message that came from Hakeem Jeffries himself to his Democrats and progressives in particular did not listen to that advice. They wanted to show that they were fighting for Donald Trump, and they wanted the public to know that as well. And clearly Al Green didn't take that advice also. We'll see what he ultimately.
They wanted to show the opposition. They wanted to show the public. They wanted to show their donors that they was opposing Donald Trump, because if they wasn't opposing Donald Trump, they know their donors wasn't gonna come in. That's why right after that they went and held donations and sold shirts and you know what I'm saying, and stickers and bumpers and you know what I'm saying, and hats and shit. You know what I'm saying, had a whole little fundraiser after that. It wasn't about Donald Trump or being opposition. It was about their damn fundraisers and their money.
He says when he comes out of this censure vote, but before this vote, Pamela and Wolf, he said, I'm prepared to suffer the consequences of his actions. So he has really no regrets for what he did, and he said he would do it again.
Let's talk. The Democratic Party itself is frankly an irrelevant political party. They don't have a message. Their policy positions have left cities across this country in shambles. I mean, even last night, let's just think about this for a minute. The president highlighted DJ, the young kid who's dealing with cancer survivor. They didn't even have enough decency to stand and applaud. He highlighted the mother whose daughter was killed by an illegal immigrant. They didn't stand and applaud. He talked about law enforcement, not the bad guys, but the ones who are doing good work every day across this country, keeping our cities safe. They didn't stand and applaud. It appears to me that the Democratic Party, in my personal opinion, is a party that is in chaos right now.
You think
they have no
They're in chaos right now, right? They have no leader, right? They have no real importance. What is it? Like, what do the Democrats do that's important right now? What are Democrats doing that's important for the country right now? Huh? Opposing Donald Trump? That's it. Other than that, right? What policies are they passing? Or what are they fighting against that's benefiting the country? They are a party of irrelevant. They have no leader. They have no policies. They have no point of views, right? The polls are at the worst ever, right? Nobody knows the direction that the party is going. They still fighting on shit that they lost the election on. They're still in denial, right? While Donald Trump is and the Republican Party is doing their shit. They are the party that is irrelevant right now. They have no importance. You don't see Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, none of them motherfuckers, Kamala Harris. You don't see none of them, right? Of any importance. None of them are making any decision. None of them are holding any speeches. None of them are doing any kind of unity. None of them. The Democratic Party is irrelevant right now.
This country, keeping our cities safe. They didn't stand and applaud. It appears to me that the Democratic Party, in my personal opinion, is a party that is in chaos right now.
You think
they have no idea which direction?
Sir Michael, with all due respect, you think Democrats are going to?
Absolutely.
Wait, let me say this. You think Democrats should applaud Donald Trump when he talks about law enforcement?
No, but a kid would cancel.
Stop. Let me
You see how that? You think Donald Trump, not when he was talking about the kid with cancer and his love for law enforcement and how we should love in law enforcement and stuff like that, and how the country should respect law enforcement like that. Look at this kid. But she turned it into Donald Trump. You think Donald Trump should clap? People should clap for Donald Trump? You see how? But watch how she basically talk about the kid like the kid ain't shit. Like he's like, oh well. He just like, oh well. He just a kid with a disease. Oh well.
Donald Trump when he talks about law enforcement? Let me say this. You think Democrats should applaud Donald Trump when he talks about law enforcement?
No, but a kid would cancel.
Stop. Let me just, no, excuse me. In that very chamber where Donald Trump's goons tried to harm the people that were sitting there and applauding Donald Trump, you want Democrats to take advice from Donald Trump about law enforcement?
It's not about taking advice, Julie. Some things should just simply be above politics.
Right.
And those are three instances where Democrats could have simply applauded.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to like the president to say these are good things.
This president is cutting funding for childhood cancer. You want to know what he's cutting funding for? The NIH, the CDC. He's got a wacko as the head of.
You see how that has nothing to do with the Democrats standing for the kid or respecting the moment, right? She want to talk about NHE funding and cutting this and cutting that. It has nothing to do with that, right? What the Democrats do is they try to change the subject, try to make a point, and try to stay away from the topic and try to make another thing more important than what we're talking about. Like she's doing right now. Oh, it's not about the kid. It's about the NHA funding and stuff like that. And okay, if it was for that, it is still going to affect the kid. So let's go back on the kid. No, let's talk about the funding.
HHS. And you want to talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm very happy for that kid. I'm very happy for that kid. I'm glad that his lifelong dream came true and he became, a cop or whatever he wanted to become.
Huh? I'm glad for that kid. I'm happy for him that he lived his life and his dream came through, right? And he what? That was some of the most insensitive shit ever.
As the head of HHS, and you want to talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm very happy for that kid. I'm very happy for that kid. I'm glad that his lifelong dream came true and he became, a cop or whatever he wanted to become. But the bottom line is that all it does is accentuate the horrors that Donald Trump is imposing on kids with
Democrats
cancer.
seemed pathetic and they seemed petulant in their behavior last night. And if they think that's going to help them going into midterms next year, I say keep going.
I want to ask you a series of questions. If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great.
Okay. Do you believe?
Right. This what happened. Right when the mayors, of New York, Denver, Boston, and Chicago was put on trial. Right. They couldn't answer the right questions. They was getting grilled. Right. And I think they asked for to get locked up. Look at the denial and the accusations and the dodging the questions and all that. I think these mayors finna get their ass locked up because they put their ass in a bubble that they won't be able to get out. They finna get their ass locked up. Watch this.
And their behavior last night. And if they think that's going to help them going into midterms next year, I say keep going.
I want to ask you a series of questions. If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great.
Okay. Do you believe it's acceptable for illegals who commit heinous crimes be released back into the public instead of being detained and deported? Mayor Adams, yes or no?
Mayor Johnson, no, yes or no? I take that as a yes.
Mayor, yes or no?
They should be deported.
Okay, Mayor.
Any individual that
Yes or
causes
no?
harm
Yes or
and
no?
breaks
Okay,
the
Mayor
law
Wu.
should be held accountable.
This is why you have 6% approval rating, because you suck at answering questions.
They ain't never heard no shit like that. 6%? You can't get no lower than that. Right? So you can't even answer the question straight. That's why your dumb ass got 6% approval rating. Right? Do you think they should be illegal? Do you think you're in a sanctuary city? Do you think you should be funding? What I think is, well, your ass got 6%. That's why your ass is dumb. That's why you dumb.
Anyone break a crime?
Yes or no? This is not hard. Yes or no?
Anyone that break a crime should be detained.
Okay, Mayor Wu. Yes or no?
Anyone who's a public safety threat should be prosecuted.
All right, I have my next question.
Mayor Johnson, on March 10th, 2023, you posted on X that Chicago must lead and live by the promise to be a sanctuary city. Is Chicago a sanctuary city?
A 40-year policy of being a welcoming city.
Yes.
A 40-year policy of a welcoming city.
Based on our classification, yes.
Mayor,
what the fuck is a welcoming city? We're a welcoming city. What the fuck is a welcoming city? We welcome everybody, illegal or unlegal. What? Illegal or unillegal? What the fuck does that mean? We're not a sanctuary. We're a welcoming city. We're illegal or unillegal. These motherfuckers are sick. They ass going to jail.
Yes.
A 40-year policy of a welcoming city.
Based on our classification, yes.
Mayor Johnson, is Denver a sanctuary city?
A lot of folks use that term.
Yes or no?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Folks use that term differently. I can tell you what Denver does. We do not.
Okay, I take that as a yes.
Yes or no?
No.
Mayor Wu, in November 2024, you gave an interview noting that you served on the city council a decade ago when the Boston Trust Act was first passed. You said in that interview that in terms of Boston's policy, there is a prohibition on resources and personnel going to enforce civil immigration detainers, meaning Boston police and other departments cannot cooperate with ICE when it comes to detaining on civil warrants. Mayor, is Boston a sanctuary city?
Boston is a safe city.
I take that as a yes.
Boston is a safe city. Yeah, if your ass is a damn robber and you trying to kill people and get your ass killed by the police, hell yeah, the town is safe, right? And you get sympathy and love, you know what I'm saying, from the mayor. You're the victim. Your ass got shot and killed trying to kill people, but you're the victim. Ain't that a bitch?
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is under attack on social media for her response to the deadly officer-involved shooting in the heart of the city Saturday. Police say an off-duty officer shot and killed a man who was trying to attack people with a knife inside a Chick-fil-A.
My condolences and all of our thoughts are with the family of the individual whose life has been lost.
Many took to X, calling out Mayor Wu for giving condolences to the attacker's family after he was killed by police.
We want to give a shout out. This is woke to the wokest. We want to give a shout out to the person that got killed for trying to kill people. Where they do that at? Right? Where the hell they do that at? It's always the victim that gets the sympathy for the Democrats. It's never the victim. It's always the victim. It's never the victim. That's the victim with the Democrats. You can go up and slice and dice everybody in the damn Burger King. Police shoot you, is the police fault. You know, slice 13 people from to itty bitty pieces and put them in a deep freezer and put them out and fry them, right? And you're chopping somebody else in the middle of the chop, right? For the barbecue their ass, and he come in and lay your ass down, right? She gonna talk about the one victim in the case. The person that was gunned down by the police is the victim. Ain't this a bitch? What happened to the other motherfuckers sliced and diced? They not victims? Nah, they suspects. What the fuck? Suspected of being Trump supporters. Oh, whoa, wait a minute.
I don't think this is normal at all. And it's as if they were all teed up just waiting for this kind of moment to take advantage of it politically.
And Mayor Adams, on November 12, 2024, you said, quote, "This is a sanctuary city," but I must comment that you have, of the witnesses today of the major cities, you have publicly stated that you were willing to work with ICE on detaining the most criminal illegals, and I want to publicly thank you for that. But my question to you, sir, is New York City a sanctuary city?
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes. Next.
Yeah, motherfucker. What the welcoming city is? I don't even know. That's not even in the Constitution. We have welcoming cities. What part of the city? What part of the Constitution is that? Where they do that in the Constitution? We have a welcoming city. Welcoming to who? Huh? Welcoming to how? Welcoming to what? I ain't never heard no welcome. They changed the definition of all kind of shit. It's not a sanctuary city no more. It's a welcoming city. What the fuck? It's not mother no more. It's insinuated person. Like, what the fuck is insinuated? Inseminated. We can't call them father no more. We gotta call them parent. Like, they changed the name. We can't call them woman no more. We gotta call them birthing person. Like, they changed the name on everything. It's not a sanctuary city no more. It's a welcoming city. The fuck?
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes. Next question.
And that's the policy that we will hold to.
How much did your city spend on illegal immigration? Do you have a round number?
First of all, do you support allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no?
Over the last couple of years on all newcomers, whatever their status was, it's around 79 million since 2022.
79 million. Mayor Johnson, Chicago. How much has the city of Chicago spent on illegal immigration?
How much you think Brad Johnson gonna say? How much you think Mayor Brandon Johnson gonna say he spent on immigrants, right? How much you think Brandon Johnson, Mr. Big Bad Black Ass Brandon Johnson, how much do you think he spent on immigrants since Joe Biden been in office? Because in Denver is 7.9 million, right? Chicago have way more people than Denver, right? I think they have like 1.8 million more people than Denver. So if he spends 7.9, but they had way more immigrants probably than Denver too. But if he sends 7.9 million, how much do you think? Huh? Amber Young? Huh? Harley's dad? Moose McGrew? Huh? What do you think? What is the price on their head? Huh? Time. Come out to play. Huh? What do you think the price in Chicago is, Tom? That Brandon Johnson gonna say? Well, Brandon Johnson ain't gonna say a motherfucking thing. Brandon Johnson gonna blame it on something else. Brandon Johnson or the bitch from Boston ain't gonna say nothing. They gonna beat around the bush because they don't want the public to know how much they spent on immigration. They don't want you to know how much of your money, time, huh, Miss Black Barbie, Miss Chocolate Coco. They don't want you to know how much money they spent on your shit, Sherry K. Huh? Charlie George. They don't want you to know, okay, Dane. Huh? They don't want you to know how much they spent on your shit. They don't keep it a secret. Don't let them know.
If you're referring to the 2022 up to 2024 of the buses coming from Texas, roughly the same percentage of the state of Texas, about 1% of our overall budget.
What is that? Because we don't have the city's budget in front of me. Numbers.
Do you support tax dollars subsidizing or paying for the health care of illegal aliens?
I support investments in all residents of the people of Chicago, and that's what I do.
That's a yes as well.
It's 1%, and if you want the actual calculation, we can make sure someone.
You're the mayor. You don't have the math in front of you.
It's 1% of the overall budget over the last 4 years.
That's why you're a failing
which
mayor.
is the
Mayor
same
Adams,
number that
how
was
much did
sent
the city
from
of
us
New
from
York
the
actually
state
spend
of
on
Texas.
illegal immigration?
Are you willing to go to jail for violating federal law?
The city of Chicago complies with all laws.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
Do you support free or reduced college for illegal aliens?
Again, I support the investments of all residents of the people of Chicago.
That is a yes. Next question. Do you support allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections?
Again, I'm not over the jurisdiction of that type of law, but again, I'm committed to investing in all residents of the people of Chicago.
I'll take that as yes.
Mayor Johnson, I already asked you, you don't have a hard number. And if you don't have a hard number, you're not running your city well. Mayor Adams, how much did the city of New York actually spend on illegal immigration?
6.9 billion of taxpayers.
6.9 billion.
Woo, what a beat. Remember, you got to know Brandon Johnson was up there because a couple of months in a row, he was hitting it with them 500 million. 500 million, 500 million, 500 million, 500 million. So Brandon Johnson, he has to be up to at least 700 million. He got to be easy 700 million, easily. He got to be up there. If Chicago, 6.9 billion or whatever, he got to have at least 75 million, 7,500 million, easily. If he was hitting with those, it was over 2 years. Maybe they had to find out he was hitting for them 50 billions. Like, where the hell you getting them 50 billion from? They was closing down schools and all kind of shit in Chicago. Remember that? Schools and parks and all kind of shit. Right? So you know they got to be up there.
Dollars of taxpayer money on a problem. $6.9 billion of taxpayer money on a problem that was fostered on the American people.
Mayor Wu?
We are not violating federal law.
I've got an article from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I'll quote here briefly. Johnson proposed, among other things, that all residents, regardless of citizenship status, be able to vote for Chicago Board of Education members.
Any actions that amplify fears of deportations make Chicago more dangerous. Those fears cause witnesses and victims to avoid cooperating with police. The cooperation of all people, regardless of their immigration status, is essential to achieving the city's goals of reducing crime and pursuing justice for victims. When there is trust between city's residents and the police, undocumented immigrants come forward to report crimes to local law enforcement and provide information that helps the police solve those crimes.
Mayor Wu, I have
So in other words, nigga, you support immigrants living in the city. You said all that to say nothing. Every report the immigrants absorb the crime, and the immigrants, when they report the crime, it reports to help the community and report the crime and such and such. They don't to be scared to report the crime or report the crime of all people. You nigga, what? The fuck did you say? Report the crime of all people. The citizens are respect all the citizens of America and all the citizens of Chicago. I protect all the citizens. What?
the last couple questions for you. Do you believe that ICE arresting a child rapist, quote, threatens everyone's safety, end quote?
Mayor Johnson, under Chicago law, would you turn this criminal over to ICE on a detainer?
Our local law enforcement works hard every day to get criminals off the streets of Chicago.
No.
Next question. Your website states, and this is your campaign website, quote, I will not stop fighting until abortion access is completely secure for people all over the country, end quote. Yes or no, do you support taxpayer-funded abortions for illegal aliens?
I support the reproductive rights of all.
They got all kind of quotes they've been making. and quote, and quote, and quote. This all the shit they said. And quote, I said this, and quote, okay, you said that. Well, say it in front of Congress. You said all this. We want all this shit on record.
All people, all women.
That is a yes as well.
Mayor Johnson, how about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
If you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a
seeking asylum from what? United States? From Texas? What they were seeking asylum from? Texas? Oh, they were seeking asylum from what?
bus ordinance.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto the ramp to I-5 South.
For seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate with the governor of Texas. He refused to do that. But that transfer of individuals was the result of the governor of Texas, not the result of a welcoming city ordinance.
Mayor Wu, in the city of Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city
number.
of Boston has spent on illegal immigration?
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between
Said they don't distinguish between illegal or legal citizens. What? You don't know how much you spend on the budget because you don't distinguish between legal and illegal? That bitch ought to get sued. You know all this is on record, right? Y'all know all this is on record. We don't distinguish between illegal or legal. What?
Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city
number.
of Boston has spent on illegal immigration?
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between immigration status.
Do you
as
manage
part
your
of our
budget
city
or not,
policies.
Mayor
That
Wu?
is how we keep
Mayor
our city
Wu,
safe.
do you manage
we
your
have
budget
the
or not?
numbers to prove it.
Does ICE arresting a murderous MS-13 gang member threaten everyone's safety? Yes or no?
No.
Would you turn that criminal over to ICE? That's the problem. That's one of the topics of this conversation. That's one of the problems we've heard from Tom Hammond and from the Homeland Security is that in your cities, when someone's apprehended for a crime and ICE is now with this new federal policy wanting to come in and deport the criminal alien, that you will not cooperate with ICE.
I would like to hold up this quote of you where you say ICE's efforts actually threaten the safety of everyone, end quote, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. You're a hypocrite. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Will you turn that criminal over to ICE?
And we do not harbor criminals. Our local police department works hard every single day to ensure that the city of Chicago is
Yes
safe.
or no? Will you turn the criminal over to ICE?
With a criminal warrant from the federal government, our local law enforcement.
Let me proceed. Data from Texas.
This last part is wild as shit, right? Because she want to be known as a victim and she want to be heard, right, as a victim in the hearing, right? She want to be heard as a victim, so this bitch go nuts. This bitch go absolutely nuts, bird nuts up in this shit. Watch this.
Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend.
Why do they always say that? Why would it protect the immigrant? What kind of argument is that? Right? U.S. citizens, right, rape and murder more people than immigrants. Well, if you go to England or you go to Europe, right, it's more people in Europe that commit rapes than Europe immigrants. If you go to Africa, I don't give a fuck what country you go to, it's gonna be more of that country people that live there commit more of the crimes, right? Because it's going to be more of them. Now, if you want to talk about a percentage of American people versus a percentage of illegal immigrants, Now that's a whole different category, and we do not know them numbers because some of y'all don't report them as immigrants. Some of y'all don't report their status, so we don't know what's the numbers on the legal citizens and citizens and who commit what crimes. So you throwing out that number? Well, natural-born citizens, American citizens commit more crimes than America. We don't know that. When you go to jail, they don't ask you for your United States citizenship. They lock your ass up. When your release day, they let your ass out. They don't ask you, are you an American citizen? People lie on that shit. Yeah, I'm an American citizen. I was born in Colorado. They don't ask you to bring your birth certificate, nothing to jail. Bring your birth certificate to prove you're an American citizen. Nah, the only reason they find out if your ass get fingerprinted and they say, wait a minute, where you from? You ain't on here. Oh, I'm not from here. Your records don't come back. Other than that, they let their ass out. Your release date, get your ass up out of here, legal or illegal. They don't give a damn. Huh?
You all trying to get thrown out of committees. More rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committees so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural right as a member of this committee.
You can go with Mr. Frost and Mr. Green.
Reclaiming my time.
That's what you want. No. Ms. Presley, I have been very accommodating to you. Mr. Subrajan,
and I take particular umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence. I will
Order.
As a survivor of sexual violence. She has to throw that in, right? I will be hurt as a survivor of sexual violence. What that got to do with anything? They always want to throw that victim out, right? I'm going to be hurt as a black woman and a sexual survivor. What? What the fuck is a sexual survivor? Oh my God! Look, what the hell?
I recite the articles
have been
for
very
the
accommodating
record.
to you, Mr. Subrajan.
And I take particular umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence. I will insert into the record. This is my right.
It's all right.
Thank you.
No.
This is my right. No, this is not your right. This is my right as a sexual victim. What's he say? A sexual survivor victim. Wait, a sexual violence survivor. Sexual violence survivor. Yeah, she was a sexual violence survivor, and this is her time.
Umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence. I will insert into the record. This is my right. Thank you.
No. It is Mr. Subrajan.
Mr. Chair.
No, you know the process of unanimous consent. You are not recognized.
I have several articles to enter into the record.
Mr. Subrajan, if you don't go, we're going to recognize Mr. Timmons.
I manage my budget. I have a AAA bond rating dating back 10 years.
So to the city of Boston, just understand that your mayor does not care how much of your resources she has spent on people who are not citizens.
The city of
Boston
is sick of having people outside registration status, and that is what
Our
makes
next question, Mayor Johnston, you said in your testimony that the first step you took after.
Oh, look. Right now, this is the prison part. Right now, this is the part I say for last. This is the prison part. This is her. I don't know if she came first or last, but I put her last on here because she should have been last. She heard all of that shit probably, right? Took all their statements down, right? Looked at all the laws that they all the laws that they broke, right? And she's basically finna tell them like, hey, y'all done this, and that, so I'm about to send this to, Pam Bondi and see what she's gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just entrapped all of y'all, and all y'all said this, and all y'all said that, and all y'all understand the law. Since all y'all understand the law, I want you to know exactly what you did. Oh, she's so cold, huh? Since you understand the law, and you understand what the law means, and you understand what breaking the law means, and you made these statements right here, right? We're going to make you stick to your statements, right? We're going to and pursue what you say. You don't care about you going to jail. We're gonna take your statements on what you said, and she's gonna read it back to her. I know these motherfuckers shitted on themselves. Watch this. Just watch this. Here we go. Play.
After illegal aliens arrived was to provide you said
Of having people outside of immigration status, and that is what
whole
next question, Mayor Johnston, you said in your testimony that the first step you took after illegal aliens arrived was to provide them with housing. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Folks that were on the streets freezing to death, we gave access to shelter. Yes, we did.
Thank you. Not to be rude here, but you have a good understanding of what the definition of harboring is, correct?
I do.
Okay. For those that
you heard that? You know the definite what you gave them a housing, correct? Yes, I gave them housing. Do you know what the definition of harvesting is? Huh? Do you know? Yes, I do. Okay. Next question.
that might not harboring means to knowingly or recklessly provide shelter.
I do.
Okay. For those that might not, harboring means to knowingly or recklessly provide shelter or place to stay for an illegal alien. And according to Title 8 of U.S. Code subsection 1324, that is also a federal crime.
Whoa! For those who don't know, let me break it down one more time. For those who don't know, this is what it is. You said you know what it is. For those who don't know, right? Just in case you try to say some bullshit. For those who don't know, this is what it means. I'm not saying this is what you did, but I'm saying this is what it means. You said you gave the funding for the housing for the immigrants, right? And you knowingly done it because you disadmitted it. You can't say no, you didn't do it. You in a hearing. You have to admit this shit. You have to admit you broke the law. That's why I tell people I fuck with hearings and not what people say on the news or in a press conference. Say under oath.
Shelter, yes, we did.
Thank you. Not to be rude here, but you have a good understanding of what the definition of harboring is, correct?
I do.
Okay. For those that might not, harboring means to knowingly or recklessly provide shelter or place to stay for an illegal alien. And according to Title 8 of U.S. Code subsection 1324, that is also a federal crime. Just to be clear, did you also say that you would be willing to go to jail to stop deportation efforts?
I did say that I'd be willing to stand up for all of our residents, and the context was that was the point at which the administration was threatening to deploy the U.S. military to streets of our cities to pull kids out of schools and churches. So we were worried about that.
You said you were willing to go to jail. No, I meant on this part right here. Let me tell you what part I was talking about. I go to jail on. You said you was willing to go to jail, right? That's what you said. No, not like that. You broke the law. You meant to break the law. You know what harvesting is. You meant to harvest it, right? But and you harvest the motherfucker, right? He said, no. Did you say this? I will go. And then you say, after all you said, after knowingly breaking the law, admitting that you broke the law, you said, I don't care if I go to jail. Okay, we got you.
That you would be willing to go to jail to stop deportation efforts.
I did say that I'd be willing to stand up for all of our residents, and the context was that was the point at which the administration was threatening to deploy the U.S. military to streets of our cities to pull kids out of schools and churches. So we were worried about that.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record an article from CBS.
Without objection to ordered.
Thank you. In this, it says, Johnston said earlier this week that he's willing to use civil disobedience and, if necessary, going to jail to stop deportations. My final question, which would be for you, Mr. Mayor Johnson. Do you believe that Chicago's welcoming city ordinance encourages illegal aliens to enter the United States?
You heard what she said? Welcoming city. We're going to go with your words. The welcoming city policy. Since you said it's not a sanctuary city, and it's been a welcoming city since 1964, we're going to go with the welcoming city. We have your welcoming city. Your welcoming city.
Do you believe that Chicago's welcome? My final question, which would be for you, Mr. Mayor Johnson.
City.
Do you believe that Chicago's welcoming city ordinance encourages illegal aliens to enter the United States, specifically into Chicago? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you don't believe that banning the transfer of individuals into ICE custody for the purpose of civil immigration enforcement encourages illegal immigration into Chicago? Or how about agencies, sorry, 1 second, or agents not being able to stop, arrest, or detain individuals based solely on their immigration status or administrative warrants?
So we comply with all laws, local, state, and federal.
To me, after this line of questioning, it's very clear that these policies that you have all implicated are active and alive and well in your cities, are in direct violation with U.S. Title 8, Code subsection 1324, and it is a federal offense. But you all speak about a broken immigration system, and yet here you guys are aiding and abetting in that entire process. I want to be very clear about something.
You talk about a broken immigration system, but here you is aided and embedded, and under title such and such, such and such, right? You are committing a crime, right? You are aided and embedded. Oh my God. You are admitting to this, and you're still doing this. You are admitting to it.
And it is a federal offense. But you all speak about a broken immigration system, and yet here you guys are aiding and abetting in that entire process. I want to be very
You aiding and abetting. That's what shit you're talking about is broken. You said it's broken, but you're helping these motherfuckers come in. I want to be very clear
about something. Open border policies, which is something that you guys are talking about, hurts people on both sides, meaning the people that are coming here illegally and then American citizens as well. I do not think you guys are bad people, but I think that you are ideologically misled, which is why, unfortunately, based on your responses, I'm all going to be criminally referring you to the Department of Justice for investigation. And as soon as I leave here, these will be going over to Pam Bondi. I'm not doing that in an effort to bully you guys, but I do believe that your policies are hurting the American people, and you can make that known with the evidence that you can present to the Department of Justice. But if you guys continue doing what you're doing, you're not going to help anyone. You're going to hurt more people. And that's exactly why I'm tired of it. The American people are tired of it. And Chairman, I yield my time.
31st. Whoa! They going to jail. Soon as I'm finished with this shit, I'm going to walk these over to Pam Bondi, because we have you on record now. None of this CNN shit, none of this WGN shit, none of this Fox News, none of that. We have you on record saying exactly what you've done. A whole hearing full of it, right? You admitting to this shit. Oh, I'm not from a sanctuary city. You just admitted that you don't even budget in Boston your own fucking budget because you don't know the difference between a citizen and an illegal alien. Right? Mayor Brandon Johnson, who was at 6%, said he only spent 1% of the country's or the city's money on illegal immigrants. Well, how much is that 1%? They say the USA was less than 1%, and they crying like a billion motherfucker over that because they would say it was over billions of dollars. So what does that 1% represent in a city like Chicago? Right? The mayor of Denver says 7.9. His wasn't as bad as the mayor of New York, who said he spent 6.9 billion, not 6.9 million, billion like Donald Trump say with the B. Huh? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You in the hearing now, you just admitted to crimes. You just admitted to spending and funding the taxpayer money knowingly. They gone. Right? Because there's going to be some investigation, and guess what? They're going to have to come back and answer some different questions. Because now it's an investigation. So this is just a preliminary, because this is just questions. We asked the questions on the stuff you said. You said this and you said that. We want to know what this is. We want to know, oh, you don't know? Oh, this is what is happening. Oh, it's time to do some investigation. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do it on Mayor Adams. I'm pretty sure of that, right? If the investigation is on Mayor Adams, You're gonna lead to like, hey, I had to do this because the federal government is going. I know what's gonna happen with that, right? But Mary Adams didn't indict himself like these other motherfuckers did, like Brandon Adams, whatever that nigga name. They didn't indict themselves like them niggas did. They out of here, man. There's more fireworks to come. But I'm gonna let y'all go. I know a lot of y'all on the East Coast and things like that. I want to thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next show. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it going. I want to thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that. Keep this channel going. I'm out of here.